Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Coach Liliya. I'm a relationship coach, a narcissist abuse survivor, and a teacher of presence. And today, what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is something that's been requested quite a bit, and that's red flags in female narcissists in the early stages of dating. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys, especially the ones of you that have been, it's not your first walk in the park. You've been through this quite many times already, and you keep ending up dating the same woman, and you're wondering, why do I keep attracting these narcissists, and what would be some ways to prevent yourself from getting into this situation again and again and again. So let's go ahead and go through these 6 early signs, early red flags, whatever you want to call them, that she is indeed a narcissist. So number 1 here, you need to pay attention to how she makes you feel in the beginning. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So does it feel too good to be true? Does it feel like this is your soulmate, what you like to refer to her as, all right? Or your twin flame? Does it feel like she gives you something vulnerable to immediately build this trust? She makes you feel like she's never trusted anyone this way. She might even verbally say to you, like, you make me feel so safe and I've never trusted anyone this way before, and blah, 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 blah. So now that fill in you, protector here, integrity, love, that gets activated. And now you feel like, oh my God, I have to protect her and save her, right? So that feeling where she's overly vulnerable with you from the start, it's a manipulation tactic. You pay attention to it. Her being overly sexual from the beginning, right? Too soon, too early. I mean, it doesn't have to happen, but a lot of the time these women will be overly sexual from the beginning, inappropriately soon. So that is something else to pay attention to, because that taps into your protector, that taps into your masculine energy. She makes you feel like the man, right, on this pedestal, right? And you've never felt this way ever before. So of course you're going to get addicted to her from the start. If you feel like you're being addicted to her from the beginning, if it's too soon, it's typically love bombing, okay? Nobody should be idealizing you that quickly from the very beginning. That's not normal. These butterflies, too much of it, it's not normal, okay? Pay attention to how you feel, and that is going to be your intuition. Number 2, pay close attention to her relationships and her life in general, okay? What do I mean by that? Her relationship, starting with the relationship she's got with her mom, because typically if you're dealing with a narcissist here, right, the relationship she's got with her mom is going to show you so much. So the mom is typically a narcissist, right, that raised a girl that is also a narcissist. So her mom is going to be either somebody who is very controlling, very involved in her life, narcissist. If the dad figure is around, you can look at the dynamic between the mom and the dad, right? Is the mom controlling and is the dad walking on eggshells? Well, if so, then you and this new girlfriend of yours, right? That's going to be your dynamic down the road if you stick around. Look at the mom. Or the mom is maybe super neglectful, like the neglectful narcissist that's never there, yet maybe your new girlfriend still has that need to prove something to the mom, right? Because they still are fighting for that conditional love. That's how the narcissistic moms typically raise their kids. That's a really important relationship for you to pay attention to. Her and her mom, her and her dad, the mom and dad. Next one here is you need to pay attention, if she's got kids, you pay attention to the relationship between her and the children or the child. Because if she's a mom, it's going to be pretty obvious for you when you're going to see the relationship that she has with her kid or kids. Is she neglectful? Is she controlling? Does she put her kid on a pedestal? Is there a golden child scapegoat dynamic if there's multiple kids involved, right? Pay attention to all of these things. The next relationship is the relationship with her and her friends, if she has any, or her coworkers, because one thing that narcissistic people are, especially narcissistic women, and that's very, very competitive to a point of backstabbing, right? It's compete in every area that's important to her. So typically you're going to see that competition, tapping into envy, jealousy, right? Always need to win. That's one hell of a sign for you to pay attention to. What are her relationships like? What are her friendships like? Can she even keep a long-term friendship in her life? And so on and so on. The next thing to pay attention to here is her need for external validation, okay? And I'm talking about everything from her relationship with social media. Does she have the need to always take pictures of herself, post them, make sure that everybody thinks she has this amazing life? Her relationship with her looks, her relationship with her face, her body? Are you dealing with somebody who's had a bunch of fillers and Botox and plastic surgeries and implants done to her already? Is she very insecure, but of course appears to be pretty secure, like they always do? Her relationship with money. Does she overspend? Does she need to flaunt things? Maybe overspend on things she doesn't even necessarily can afford, right? Like, expensive bags, expensive shoes, cars, whatever. And understand that down the road, it's going to be your money that's going to be put to use for all of this external validation. So this is very important. Her relationship with money is going to tell you so very much. Now, going back to the relationships, because there's one I forgot to mention, and that is her relationships with her exes. Because this woman, if she's a narcissist, will typically refer to all of her exes as the worst people in the world, right? They're going to be these people that were abusive and so on and so on. And she's this angel. And of course, she's not at fault for anything. But these people were just, the worst people in the world. Especially these are like baby daddies, because these men are probably going to be completely cut off from the children. They're never going to have any rights. And you guys that are going through the divorces from narcissists with children, you are well aware that family law is not exactly on your side. So when things go down, they do lie and portray you as the worst person in the world, and you end up, not really being able to see your kids. You're completely cut off, right? There's a lot of alienation that goes into the place. So while you're on the side of the boyfriend, of course, you're going to believe that, yeah, these guys are terrible. But when you're on the side of breaking up with this woman and you have children together, then you're like, maybe Chad wasn't so bad after all. Maybe it was all lies that she said about him. So pay attention to the relationships that she has with her exes and how she talks about these exes, okay? The next one here, number 4, is how does this woman respond to criticism? Because this is crucial. Remember, narcissists cannot take any criticism, okay? So from early on, you can actually even test her out. You can give her a little bit of constructive criticism about something and just watch her reaction. Of course, she's going to try to hide it. She's not going to be all angry. But you're going to see signs of that. That tiny narcissistic rage in her eyes is going to be there. And later on, I guarantee you that if you're with a narcissist, she's going to remember that one time that you gave her this constructive criticism, and she's going to somehow take her revenge out on it. Okay, so pay attention to that. A little bit of constructive criticism in the beginning is going to go a long way, and don't close your eyes to it, okay? When you see something, you say something. When you see that it really rubbed her off the wrong way and brought out that anger in her, that's your red flag. Freaking run, okay? Period. Number 5, this woman is never going to apologize for anything, because narcissists don't apologize, because they don't take responsibility for anything, because taking responsibility for something shatters their entire image, right? Their entire facade that they live in. These people are always right in their eyes. So what happens when they apologize is that it's going to be something fake, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not responsible for whatever happened, right? For your feelings, for this, for that, never taking any responsibility. So she's never actually going to have a sincere apology. And if somehow she does, it's going to come out in a very uncomfortable way. And later she's going to be hateful towards you for it, because you made her tap into that vulnerability, accepting responsibility, and she's going to hate you for it. And she's going to somehow project on you for that. And last but not least, please, this is the most important one, and it doesn't matter what gender you're dealing with. I don't care if you're a man or a woman listening to this. If your partner from the start makes you feel guilty, that's not normal. That is not love. Guilt is a manipulation tactic that is so powerful, because, let's say it's physical abuse, right? If they hit you, at least it's obvious that, okay, I'm being abused, I need to get out. Guilt is like you always finding yourself the problem. So you always are questioning, you're always confused. Did I make this happen? Am I the narcissist? Am I the problem? Am I not enough? So if your partner, especially from the beginning stages of dating, is making you feel guilty, you take your things and you get the hell out of that relationship, because things are never ever going to change. This is the earliest, most important sign. You feel guilt, you tune into how you feel, and you need to understand that love is not guilt nor obligation. Okay? I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Remember, these are early signs that you really need to tune into. It's not going to be black and white. But if you don't want to end up in the same position again and again and again, where you end up spending years in these relationships and then you're like, oh, wow, another narcissist, right? Pay attention to these things because the red flags are always there. Narcissists can really keep up that face 6 months to a year tops, I would say. So the red flags are going to come out. And the sooner that you spot them, the sooner that you trust yourself and tune in that this feels wrong, the sooner you get out and save your precious time, okay? Before you are more entangled into these relationships. I offer one-on-one coaching if that's needed. You can always schedule with me. Link is in my bio. I also do healing retreats in Mexico. So if you're interested in something like that, I have my next one coming up at the beginning of October. So don't hesitate to reach out to me about that as well. And yeah, please go ahead and, of course, subscribe to my channel, like the video if you like the content, and I will see you all in my next video. More love to you all. I hope this was helpful.